Hello, thank you for purchasing this project. Straight away, let's get into how we can edit and customize the project. Now, the first thing you will look at when you open the project are these two folders, the edit this and do not edit this. We are not going to touch this. We are touching the one edit this folder. When you expand the project, the very first folder is versions. So when you open the versions folder, the very first folder inside it is the intros. In the versions folder, you're going to need only one of these, only one of the intros, either the blue or the red, and you can customize the colors of these to anything you want. I only included both of them as templates in case those are the colors you want. It will be quicker for you to work with. The same applies with the intro and social media. You can just use one of them, but I included two versions, just because that's what I used in the preview video. The intros, we have the intro, the blue intro, which is just the blue theme, blue with the blue color theme, and we have the red intro, which is the intro with the red color theme. Now the difference is just in the theme, the color theme, but they are the same projects for the intros. Now the intros stop at the logo. The intros stop at the logo, and then they stop at the logo animation, and then the outro comes in. So then we have the intro and social media. Intro and social media. The intro and social media. Now these ones have a social media call to action. A social media call to action interface on them. So I've included the one with the red theme and the blue color theme. One is Facebook, one is YouTube. As we go through the tutorial, we can always change the colors. We can always change the colors to anything we want, and we are going to cover that through the tutorials. Then we have the change media. This is where the media files, your media files, video, image, will be placed in the media 1, media 2, media 3, and media 4. And then we have the place logo here. Now you will place your logo here, which we will have to auto trace. That will be covered later in the tutorial. So you place your logo here. The logo appears at the end here. This is the logo. So that's where you place your logo. Then we have the audio. The first audio container with the Ivanto code. If you intend to use the Ivanto music used in the project, then you just open it and drop it here. It will be synced automatically. This is a container and it has been synced. And this is free audio that was used alongside the Ivanto music. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to move to is you're going to need to place your playhead above this yellow element layer where you see relinks in files. So if you don't see this media one, photo placeholder here, then that means you will need to relink. You will need to relink your media files. To do that, just click on the image here. To do that, just click on the layer, the element one layer, and go to effects control. If effects control is not open, go to effects control, effects, effects control, or go to Windows Workspace, then switch to Effects. Windows Workspace, switch to Effects. So we are going to click on the Scene Setup. That is if your media files are not appearing here. Okay, so if your media files are not appearing, the next thing you're going to do, it will either bring you an interface here saying Element 3D detected missing files, so you have to relink them. It's the same thing. If it doesn't show, you have to go to Files, Relinks in Files, Relinks in Files, and Add. Click here on Add Path. Go to the extracted folder of the project you downloaded and go to Photolab, the Photolab folder, then to Assets and Models, and relink the model folder. Then once you've relinked the model folder, that's okay. Just click OK, and your project should appear here. So you're going to need to do this for all these element layers that have the relinks in files label. Now into the project, what we can change on the project, we have the text, that's the 8K. All you have to do is just enable it and type your text there. So then the Ivanto text, we can change it here from here. You just make it visible and write your text there. Let me say I want to write ballads. Yeah. Then we have the change lens title. The change lens title is this yellow title around the lens. So you just open the pre-comp position and change your title here. Make sure you enable the mask path. If it's not enabled, mask path, so you can know where you're typing at. Ballads, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Ballads, and yeah, it's changed. I'm assuming you've already placed your logo here. You've already placed your logo. This is where you auto trace your logo from. Like you see, auto trace end logo. So the end logo is around here. So after placing your logo, you're going to need to reveal the masks by clicking aim, or clicking aim on your keyboard, mask aim on your keyboard, or just expanding it and looking for the mask. After you've done that, delete the mask that is already there. Remember, the place logo here, layer should be selected. Go to layer, auto trace, and make sure your settings are similar to mine. Your settings are similar to mine. We are tracing the current frame, not the work area, and click auto trace. Okay, so when you click auto trace, the logo will be auto traced. We have the shutter lens. Let me go here. The shutter lens is this. So change lens hue. This is where you change the lens. If you want to change to play around with a lens hue, just click on the shutter lens and go to Effects Control. Once again, if your Effects Control is not opened, go to Effects, Effects Control, or go to Windows Workspace and click the Effects Workspace. Now this is where we change the hue. So for example, if you want it to match with the blue theme, you just disable the effect and it will default to the blue theme. And if you want to play with the hue, just enable the effect and play with only the hue dial, the master hue dial. Do not touch anything else, just the master hue dial, and look for the color that matches something that you want. Then we also have the environment. The environment is what's giving these reflections. Like you see this blue reflection around the camera is being rendered by the environment. Now to control that, you just have to open the environment layer, which says that you have to open the environment layer which says change environment color. So we're going to click it and click on the environment. Again, in the effects control, change the environment color you want. So I've just changed it to red. I can change it to green. I can change it to blue. I can change it to white, to any color you want. So we are going to go for the red and see what it looks like. Now, like you can see, the reflections around the phone, the camera, are now red. So after customizing your project, the text and everything, we have the controller above here, the very first layer, the controller. Now this is where we control all the settings. The title position. When you're changing these values, do not drag. Just type the values there, and in small increments. Say the position is at 0. I may need to adjust to 0.5. When you drag, the movement will be so out of range. So just type your values there. Okay. Then now we have the title size. You increase the size of the title. We have the background color one. Now the background color one is this, the red color. You can change it to anything you want. Let's say blue to green. So it's then we have the background color too, which is this. So you can change the background color too as well. Then we have the ambient color, which is white. I put it to white, but I can change it to red. So you see it casts a red, it just casts a red hue on the whole project. It just casts a red hue on the whole project. If that's what you want, I'm just gonna leave it white. Then we have the smoke on and off. This is where you turn on the smoke or turn it off. You turn the smoke on or turn it off. This is where we change the smoke color from. Now notice the smoke is red. The color is saying it's red, but the smoke, if you notice, the smoke color says red, but the smoke is white. That's because the color depth has been moved down to 0.7, which is our default, but you can move it up and make it more deep. You can even change the smoke color. But if you're looking for something more realistic, like an atmosphere, you're going to need to keep it at 7. Then we have the camera color. The camera color is this yellow. Then we have the skin one. The skin one is this camera skin one. It's the skin one. When you reduce the value, you're revealing more of the skin, more of the camera skin and texture. Then when you dial the value up, you're making it more dark and more smooth. More dark, more smooth, more shiny. The skin tool is this color, this skin here. When you move it down, you're revealing more of the texture. It also affects the logo. It also affects the logo here. The logo. Skin 2, when we move it down, we have more of the logo texture showing, and when we move it up, we have a more darker color on the logo. So we have the logo position Y, just to move the logo on the Y position. And again, when you're doing these adjustments, type in your values in small increments of 0 points, 0 points, 0.5, 0.7, yeah, because you don't want to dial it out of range. Then we have the logo size. Then we have the social media part. This is the social media part. This is where you switch between the Facebook and the YouTube version. Click the checkbox. So briefly, I'm going to go back to the main points or the main sections that make up this project that you really need to not forget to touch when you're customizing your project. That's the lens color. The lens color. The lens color is going to be determined by the shutter lens color here. Change lens color. You click on it and you change the hue to match the theme. Then we also have the environment. The environment, which is this. It's the one that renders the reflections on the camera and the entire project. You go to environment, click on it, and change it to the respective color. Yeah, so you can change this project to any colors that suits you. Once again, I'm going to say thank you for purchasing the project.